Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about my January favorites, and I do have some fails in here as well. And if you're watching this on Friday, February 3rd, it is my 36th birthday, so happy birthday to me. I'm super excited to be here and sharing with you guys on my birthday. And let's jump into the video. So my husband and I did a little getaway to Rhode Island where we went to college just for a couple days to just eat food and relax. And I took this little minis kit from In Beauty, and this was one of the only skincare products I hadn't tried of theirs, and I really enjoy their moisturizer, the face glaze, and this is their Keep It Clean Hydrating Gel Cleanser. This has ceramides and amino acids, vegan collagen. This really is effective at removing makeup. It's a gel that lathers and foams really nicely. So it's perfect for that first cleanse to remove your sunscreen and makeup, but then you can use it as your second cleanse as well. This is a fantastic option if you are someone who doesn't like to have two cleansers, and I love this type of cleanser for when I'm traveling and I only want to have one on hand. I'm really impressed by this, and I'm probably going to grab a full size from Sephora. Another product I've been loving is the Naturium Marshmallow Root Barrier Balm. If you saw my 2022 skincare favorites, you know that the Multi-Calm line by Naturium is one of my favorites, and this line launched last spring, and I feel like it didn't get enough hype because now that it's winter, we really need it, and this entire line is incredible. I love the cream cleanser that's in my shower. I love the daytime lotion. It has like a perfect demi-matte kind of finish. This I just cannot stop reaching for at night, and I'm, plowing through it. I'm reaching the bottom there. It's just a fantastic occlusive balm that's still a lotion texture, so it's not like an oil-based balm that is just going to kind of like seal in your skincare, and it has a matte finish, and I think that's where this differs from other balms on the market. If you like something that's not going to feel like oily, sticky, heavy on the skin, you'll really like this. So I feel like everyone who I've recommended this to has raved about it. And I'm going to also just read off the calming ingredients that are in this. It has colloidal oatmeal, centella extract, so like Kika, arnica. This has allantoin, bisabolol. It has beta-glucan, the squalane. It has panthenol. It has aloe. I mean, it has truly like all of the calming ingredients you could ever have in a product. They jam-packed this, and it's so affordable. So this is only $25, and this could get you truly like through the winter. I think this is an incredible product, and they bundle actually all three of the Calm line products that are all in this color packaging. So if you wanted to grab all three, you could get like a discounted price, but this is so good. I have another moisturizer, Love, that again, I talked about this in my 2022 skincare favorites, but I love seeing people's favorites, even if it's stuff that they've been using for months. I want to know what people are consistently reaching for and using, so I'm also including another product that I talked about in my 2022 favorites. This is the Make Hydrascape Moisturizing Reverse Emulsion, and this has a really unique texture because I think people are like, what is this? Is it a hydrating serum? Is it a moisturizer? It can kind of be used as both. During the daytime, I use this as my moisturizer, and I put a moisturizing sunscreen over it, and it's perfect for my skin. I'm actually wearing it today, and I just get the best all day hydration. My makeup looks incredible, but at night I can use this as a hydrating layer and apply like a thicker balm over it, and it works really well that way as well. And a lot of you know, if you've been following me on Instagram for a long time, that I was obsessed with the U Beauty Smart Super Hydrator. It's also sometimes called the Smart Hydrator, but anyways, it's in this like gray packaging, and I always said there is nothing else like this on the market until this. This truly is almost identical in texture and feel. The ingredients are a little bit different. This has some extra like vitamin C in it. It has a little bit more exfoliating properties in it, but I don't really need that. I need it more as a moisturizer because I already use a vitamin C and a retinoid and all of those other things in my routine. I really just need all day hydration. The price difference is nuts. This is $168 for 1.7 ounces, and this is $36 for 1.7 ounces. So like Make really went out and duped that. So let me just run you through the ingredients on this because, again, I think it's so special and I want to see like more people switching over to this and talking about it. I think it deserves all of the hype. Alright, so ingredients wise, again, this provides all day hydration, but it's not heavy. It's kind of like a running liquid, and I'm going to put a link to my video where I do a split face comparison of the U Beauty and the Make Beauty. So this has glycerin, fermented aloe, sodium hyaluronate. Again, those are nice humectants that are draw water to the skin. Squalane, shea butter, lactic acid, a ceramide blend. These all help to soften, hydrate, smooth the skin. It also has resveratrol, which is a potent antioxidant that gives you some nice antioxidant protection. So I just feel like this is so good, and I want to get more people on this train. So yeah, I can't stop talking about it. It's so good. I do have 2 sunscreens here. I've kind of fallen in love with the Say Sun Visor. This is, since they've launched their new formula, I find this sets down. So it still is quite glowy looking, but it sets down so it doesn't feel as wet on the skin. I got this mini from Sephora, and I've been mixing it with their Dewy Super Glow Gel for just like an all over kind of fresh, you know, glowy base, and then I could just kind of touch up with concealer wherever I need it. And really enjoying this and using it a ton. If I were to just use this as my sunscreen, the amount that you need, it's so dark, it makes me look super tan and I look insane. But when it's just like mixed and gives like a little bit, you know, of a tan, it's really pretty. And then I've also been obsessed with the La Roche-Posay Anthelios UV Immune 400 SPF 50. This is a European sunscreen of theirs, so it has those advanced UVA filters, so really high UVB and UVA protection. This is a thick cream that melts into the skin. It's really beautiful, and in the summer I would skip moisturizer and just be able to use this as my moisturizer and SPF, but in the winter I just love having like an extra layer of hydration and nourishment, and I just think this is incredible. It does have like a sunscreeny scent because they don't have any masking fragrance, so it's sensitive skin friendly, but just know that it definitely smells like sunscreen to me, and it does have a light yellow tint, so that could, you know, stain like a white shirt, but I'm pretty careful about applying it. So if it comes out like with a yellowish tint, don't think it's gone bad, because I've had people DM me and think that, but that's just the color of the product. I have 3 more skincare products, and they're all part of a system. So when this brand reached out to me to send this to me, I was hesitant because, you know, I was like, this seems a little gimmicky and very specific for, you know, like one type of person who might like to slug. But I was like, I have to try this because the packaging was so cute. I loved the ingredients when I, you know, checked out the ingredients. I'm very particular about new skincare that I want to try because I'm just so happy with my routine, and I like to keep it, you know, like pretty minimal and effective. And so I have just been like really impressed with this trio together, but I do think the products are even nice separately, so I wanted to share them. And if you want to see a whole video on slugging and what it is and like comparing different slugging balms, if you want to see like an Aquaphor, CeraVe, Vaseline comparison, you know, to this or any other kind of like slugging balm ointment out there, I would love to put a video together if that's of interest to you, like what it is, who it would be beneficial for, but I'll kind of give a quick overview. So slugging is this idea that you basically end your routine with an occlusive, and similar to the idea of the Naturium Marshmallow Balm is you apply an occlusive balm at the end of your routine to really seal in hydration and prevent transepidermal water loss, which is what helps our skin maintain moisture overnight and essentially heal our skin's barrier much quicker than if we, you know, weren't really sealing something in with something occlusive. You know, we have humectants, those really hydrate the skin and draw water to the skin. We have our emollients, which really soften and smooth the skin, and then the occlusives are the ones that, you know, are really sealing everything in and preventing that transepidermal water loss. So that's kind of the idea here, is you're adding your hydration in and then you're sealing it in with the balm. This mist here is the first step. It has hyaluronic acid, polyglutamic acid, glycerin, squalane. It has a really fine mist, so it's really nice to use. I mean, a really fine mist. I'm really picky. I get sent so many mists. I will not use a mist that has like a really terrible aggressive spray nozzle. So that's beautiful. And it doesn't have a bad scent, but it doesn't really have any added scent. And then you have the Slug Cream. This has plant-derived plumping fatty acids, replenishing cholesterol, hydrating ceramides, all of those things that, you know, work together and to create our skin barrier. It helps to preserve the skin's moisture levels and shield it from external stressors. And it also has a highlighting peptide that helps to moisturize and smooth the skin and give like a dewy glow. This is a really, really lightweight lotion that really hydrates the skin. It feels incredible on the skin, and this would be an awesome daytime moisturizer as well. So you could use these first two products in the morning. And then lastly, you have a Slug Balm. And again, I'd love to kind of do an in-depth video on the three of these and show you guys like the textures, compare it to CeraVe. This has plant-based oils that are both occlusive but also provide moisturizing benefits, sealing in hydration as they melt into the skin, as well as a lipid complex to help replenish naturally occurring lipids to strengthen the barrier. And the thing you have to think about with occlusives is that there is a range. Like, think about it like 0 to 100% occlusive. People are scared when they hear the word occlusive that like nothing can escape their skin, but it's really a range, and a lot of products are more in the like 20 to 50% occlusive range versus like Vaseline, which is 100% occlusive. So think about it like more on a range or a scale, and I think that helps you like better understand that. You know, one of the most common questions I get asked is about like whether or not you can slug with a retinoid, and it all kind of depends. There's kind of nuance in everything, and that is because, again, this is not going to be 100% occlusive, but also how long have you been using a retinoid, the strength, all of that sort of stuff. I've been using mine for ever, literally, so I can actually slug with this and with a prescription strength retinoid, and I wake up to smooth, beautiful, like very nourished and hydrated skin. So it really kind of depends on your routine, but I've been really, really impressed. My skin has never looked better incorporating these, and with how cold it is right now, I just can't stop reaching for it. This is so much lighter and smoother and less ointment-y than a healing ointment, like the CeraVe healing ointment that I have. For example, if I get this on my hands, I can actually wash it off under the sink. You know, when you get like an ointment on your hands and it literally like won't budge underwater, I can actually like rinse this off a little bit. It's just much easier like with soap and water to remove this than it is an ointment. So this is just like so much more pleasant to put on my face, and I need to stop talking about it, but I'm really, really, really impressed, and I'd love to do a deep dive on these products if that is interesting to you. Jumping into makeup favorites, I have been using my MAC Glow Play blushes. This is a shade Rosie Does It, which I bought because of State of Kait, and then Blush Please. I was influenced by someone on TikTok, and this just looked like the perfect like everyday kind of pinky nude. Actually, very, very similar. I posted a comparison to Gucci Rosy Beige, and all three of these have been on high rotation since I've gotten them, but especially in the past month. Again, just like the perfect rosy beige. This one's like a little bit more warmer and more peach. This one has a little bit more punch of color. These are all just beautiful. I love that these are powders, but they look really glowy and luminous on the cheeks. I love a luminous blush. So yeah, these have been on high rotation and I adore them. And I also have a new blush favorite, which is the Rare Beauty Encourage blush. This is one of the lighter, newer shades, and this is in the dewy formula. She has a dewy and a matte formula in the, in the liquid blush formula. But I originally got, I think it was the shade Joy, so it was like a deeper, more like terracotta-y shade that was the matte blush, and I just like didn't love the way that it looked. It was so heavy and hard to blend, and this shade is a neutral pink, and it's just like the most beautiful flush of color on the cheeks. I'm actually wearing I bought another one of these, Believe, which keeps going in and out of stock, but I love this one. They're like, they look barely different on the skin, but this one's just a little bit more mauve, and this one's more neutral pink. And I've fallen back in love with this formula because it's so light and buildable and very long wearing for a liquid blush, and I totally get the hype around these now that I found, you know, some shades that just suit my skin tone better and blend better and are in the dewy formula. I do have a couple lip favorites as well. Blushes and lips are my weakness and where I spend all of my money. So I have the NYX lip pencils in nude beige and mauve. Nude beige, I was influenced by, I saw it all over TikTok, but then I saw Alana Davison use it in her video and say how it was like the perfect contour for her skin tone, and I bought it and I totally agree with the color. However, the formula of these is just not long wearing compared to my high-end liners like Victoria Beckham, Charlotte Tilbury, or like some of my, you know, high-end favorites, Pat McGrath. So while I love the colors of these, I'm working on finding dupes. The Garsow Twins also bought this at the same time, and they've been swatching every single liner out there. It's just like everything else is like a little bit too warm or too dark. This is just truly like more cool tone, and it looks incredible, especially with like a pinky gloss or lip oil. This is the In Beauty Lip Glaze in shade 8, which is a pink that kind of adjusts to the pH of your lips, very similar to the Dior Lip Glow Oil in pink. This is like a total dupe for that, but this I think is only like $16 or $17. So this with both of these liners has been like a go-to lip combo this entire month. So these liners, the colors are really beautiful, but again, that formula is just not a win for me. So my goal is to just find dupes for these. Have some really good leads for the mauve, and I feel like the Garsow Twins are really close on having a answer for the nude beige. The mauve, I have the one coming in from Victoria Beckham, so I'm going to play around and see if I find, you know, an exact dupe for the mauve. I do think these are nice if you're just getting into lip liners and you're, you know, trying to figure out what colors, or if you don't mind wearing a very short wearing formula. I just feel like it fades so fast, which is really sad because these colors are beautiful. A lot of people on Instagram reached out and let me know that these were like their holy grail and they're everyday, and yeah, I get why. The colors are beautiful, especially for only $5. I just cannot stand how short wearing this formula is. Again, this is so good, and it's totally a dupe for the Dior Lip Glow Oil in the shade Pink. But I have a couple of mauve favorites. I did a reel wearing this glazed mauve Revlon Lustrous glass lip shine that like went viral on TikTok. No one really knows if they're being reformulated or discontinued or what, but I love this shade. If you can find it at your local like CVS, Walgreens, definitely pick it up. It's perfect with the mauve lip liner or any kind of like mauve lip liner that you have, because it's a really thick, like juicy, luscious lip formula. It's not going to be the most long wearing, but it's very, very comfortable and beautiful and glassy on the lips, and you know, $10, you can't really beat it. I've also really been loving the NYX This Is Milky Gloss. I got two shades that I thought would be different, but they're almost identical. I got the shade Cherry Skimmed, which I know Dacey Cash really loves. This is really, really pretty. And I also got the Ubi Milkshake. So this is, I think, a true mauve, and this has supposedly an Ubi Milkshake scent to it as well. It just smells like a stronger version of the vanilla milkshake scent that's in the regular ones, but this is slightly more cool toned. I would say this is more neutral leaning, a hair warm, but on the lips they look almost identical, so you definitely don't need both of these, but I thought they would be more different when I bought them. But this formula is really thick and plush. It fills your lip lines, looks really juicy, you know, I think like really similar to this, but this is even thicker in the sense that it really stays put on the lips, and so I really, really love that type of formula. And these were $8.50, and they always have sales. Like I got this one I think for $4.25 because it was like buy one get one half off. So you know, both of these combined were like under $13. So really, really, really great formula for the price. I have two eyeshadow favorites. I picked up the Paint Pot in Groundwork. And this is a really pretty, like, neutral taupey brown that is like the perfect eyeshadow base. Great for layering as a base of, you know, like other eyeshadows. But I also just love wearing it alone because it kind of gives you that like bronzer in your, you know, in your eye crease kind of look that just kind of defines your eyes and makes them pop. So it's really pretty. I also love layering a shimmer topper over it. It never creases, it lasts all day long, and I had this in my collection in my 20s, and I'm really glad to have it back in my collection. Really one of MAC's best products, and I'm glad to have it back in my collection, and I'm glad that we're having a resurgence of all of our favorites from, you know, like 10 years ago. And another one is the Space Cowboy Moon Dust Eyeshadow by Urban Decay. I'm wearing it on the lids now. I'll zoom you in. It just gives the prettiest like wet effect glitter on the lids. Again, this is beautiful on its own because it has like champagne beigey peachy base to it. It's beautiful on its own, but it's also beautiful as a topper. And again, I love the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette because it has those beautiful like wet like shimmers in it. But if you can't get your hands on that, or you don't want to buy a whole palette just for some shimmers, you can't go wrong with these. I also have the shade Cosmic, which is like white glitters with a sheer base that's really beautiful for like the center of the eye for a pop. Really, really pretty. I'm really glad that this is having a resurgence too because it's so good. And now I have one makeup fail that I want to talk about. So everyone talked about the Rare Beauty Under Eye brightener in the shade Light. So this does at first, you know, like brighten the under eye, but then I feel like it just kind of like disappears and sits in my crease lines, and it looks better when I don't wear it. So I do like the applicator. I think it's cool. It has like this like metal tip that just feels nice, and it applies the right amount of product without having to dip back in. But I just feel like my eyes look better when I don't use it because I'm not someone who has deep dark circles. I just like a little bit of brightening. It's like the one genetic gift I was given was having, you know, bright under eyes that don't really get dark no matter how little sleep I've had. I'm telling you, I have like severe acne, grind my teeth, the driest feet on earth, so it's like, let me have this one thing. But yeah, I'm just really, really not impressed with this, and I feel like it's okay. Like it's nothing special or over the top like the way people have kind of been talking about it. I don't know. Kind of disappointed in this one. But we had, you know, some hits and some misses. The other products, the other thing that it's not a fail, it just didn't really work for my personal preferences, are the Tower 28 Juice Bombs. I actually love the two darker colors. This is a thinner waxer formula, and when this originally launched as a part of the Sephora kit, they only had one nude shade, and it was more of like a really thick, slippy kind of, you know, like lush formula. I'd say like similar to the Revlon in terms of just like being really juicy and melty, but that was kind of people's complaint. The formula didn't work with the crayon packaging, but it seems like they kept the crayon packaging, they just reformulated the product to be like a thinner, waxier formula. It's gonna like melt all over the place. I like that for the deep shades because I feel like it doesn't shift around the lips, but these aren't particularly nourishing, and I feel like the lighter shades, you know, they don't plump up my lip lines. My lips actually look, you know, like you can see every single little line on my lips. So I think if you like a really thinner, like waxier formula, you don't like something, you know, like super lush and plush and like it's gonna fill all your lip lines, you would really like this formula. But I just don't think it like suits my preferences. But I do think the orange, the shade Squeeze, which is like the orangey red, and Drink, which is like a fuchsia red, are really beautiful, and I would totally wear these in the summer. So I'm excited about those. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you liked it, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.